This is the sales advantage. Welcome to High Impact Client Interviews. My name is Marshall Northcott. I am a seasoned consultative sales professional and corporate trainer. This e-learning module is designed to educate you on the interviewing techniques and finesse skills that must be applied in corporate and business-to-business sales interactions. You are encouraged to take notes during the training module. The narrated portion of the module is broken into 10 separate sections known as learning paths, which total 100 recorded minutes. You may pause the program or take a break at any time during the learning paths, and the learning management software will keep track of your progress. In addition, there are 4 mini-timed quizzes to evaluate your understanding of each section of the e-learning module and a final exam. Use the graded quizzes to measure your progress throughout the module in preparation for the final exam. Each quiz and the exam questions have a 90-second time limit, and the quizzes and exam have a time limit as well. You cannot pause the quizzes or exam once you begin. Watch for this symbol as an indication of specific information that is included in the quizzes and the final exam. Your final grade will be provided to the individual who arranged and paid for the training. This module is designed to assist you in generating greater results during your sales meetings with new and prospective clients. Knowledge is king, and information becomes ammunition in the right hands. This e-learning module focuses on proven sales strategies that should be utilized in a customer interaction prior to the recommendation or presentation phase of the selling process. In this module, you will learn about the 4 levels of consciousness and how they apply specifically to this topic. You will become more aware of the many skills required to excel as an interviewer. In addition, you will discover different types of questions and the value each brings to you so that you can become a more effective communicator. Interviewing skills are essential to anyone whose profession depends on their ability to gather information and do a proper needs assessment. This e-learning module includes ways that you can improve your skills in this area for increased success. We will review all the different types of questioning techniques available to you in your interviewing process and how and when to use each for greatest results. Most importantly, you will learn a 4-phase questioning strategy for revealing client needs and then developing them into desired outcomes. As part of our learning objectives in this e-learning module, we will discover tips, techniques, and ideas to help you set up sales appointments in a manner that increases the likelihood of achieving positive outcomes. Use questioning and interviewing techniques that will generate greater results during client meetings. Ask a broader variety of better quality questions that are blended together in a manner that reflects a higher level of professionalism and increased confidence. Plan out a questioning strategy that will enable you to complete a needs assessment with clients and prospects. Improve the quality of your listening skills to gain the customer's trust and gather key information that will simplify your ability to successfully win the business and offer solutions that are suited to client needs and easy to justify because of the high degree of understanding that you have acquired through the interview process. Some time ago, I learned about the 4 levels of consciousness, and I have found it very helpful for training purposes. It's easy for most of us to understand the difficulties associated with learning new techniques and skills. Even more challenging than that is breaking free of our current habits and our comfort zone to implement new ideas and begin applying them in our profession. As we progress through the 4 levels, our progress is determined by how determined we are to master a new skill and the number of opportunities we have to practice it. Those who give up too quickly are victims of their quitting ways and never allow themselves enough time and effort to reach the highest level of consciousness. Unconsciously incompetent. This person hasn't got a clue what they are doing, and they aren't even aware that they don't have a clue. There is an absence of knowledge or intellect necessary to comprehend the skill in question. This is a state of not knowing you don't know. Consciously incompetent. Here we have an individual that is at least aware that they don't know what they are doing. This individual has an understanding of the expertise required, and they may have made attempts to apply the skill, but most likely they are frustrated and struggling with the change from the old bad habit and their comfort zone. This is a state of knowing you don't know. Unconsciously competent. Sometimes it is possible through repetition to become good at performing a task, even though the person doesn't know what, why, or how they do what they do. If asked to teach another individual the technique or skill, they would have difficulty because although they know what to do, they have not internalized the information, broken it down into the simplest components, and learned how to explain it so that even a child could understand. Many people who excel at what they do remain in this level of consciousness. This is a state of not knowing you do know. Consciously competent. The ultimate level of knowledge and comprehension in any profession. This person is fully aware of every step in the sales or any other related process. They know why they do what they do. A consciously competent person can educate another individual to become successful in their related field with ease. It's common for people who are not involved in training or teaching others to master a skill to this level and then slide back into unconsciously competent because they no longer have to consciously think about what they are doing. This is a state of knowing you know. When you are attempting to learn a new skill or teach a skill to someone else, remember to allow time for growth through practice and patience. Setting unrealistic expectations in a learning environment will ensure failure. You need to give yourself and others some slack in order to feel encouraged to make positive changes. Take your current age. Subtract 2 years. The number of years remaining represents how long you have been creating communication habits. Chances are you have developed some good communication habits. Is it also possible, or are you willing to admit that you may have developed some poor communication habits? These bad habits are and will continue to work against you. Are you prepared to explore these habits and challenge them? Are you prepared to put some effort into replacing them with some new habits that will generate better results and likely increase your income? Challenging old bad habits, breaking them, and replacing them with new ones is never an easy task. Remember what Booker T. Washington said: "Success is to be measured not so much by the position one has reached in life as by the obstacles one has overcome while trying to succeed." Never underestimate the power of what you are about to learn in this module. Some would have you believe that the process I'm about to teach you only applies in large or major account sales. Having used this selling process for years, I can attest to the fact that there is a definite application in these selling scenarios with more sophisticated buyers. I will also tell you that this process can be simplified and used very successfully in much less complex selling scenarios as well. The process and the skills employed can turn a $1,000 sales opportunity into a $3,000 sale and a $3,000 sale into a $30,000 contract. I can attest to this because I have seen it happen in my own sales career. With that in mind, what is a high-impact client interview? A high-impact client interview is one where As a professional representative, you enter the meeting with a list of well-thought-out, documented questions in combination with a template that were prepared well in advance of the interview, where you're absolutely conscious of what you want to accomplish and have a specific purpose in mind for every question you ask and move that you make, where the sales representative takes the leading role and controls and guides the direction of the meeting in a professional, non-threatening manner. Your interviewing technique is natural, it flows smoothly, it is conversational and consultative. An exchange between a sales professional and a client or prospect where maximum quality information is uncovered with minimal time and effort expended. Where you're results-oriented and focused on your main and secondary objectives of the call. Where you engage in an exchange that fosters a partnership and spirit of cooperation between you and the customer. Is a sales interaction in which awareness of specific needs is established and several strong statements of intent to advance or actions to make improvements are made by the client or prospect. The longer you are in sales, the more you will appreciate Thomas J. Watson's quote, "The ability to ask the right question is more than half the battle of finding the answer." Anatomy of a sales call. An effective sales meeting or appointment will have a definite structure to it. This inverted pyramid shows 6 distinct steps in the sales process. Breaking the ice, rapport building. Introduction, positioning statement, objectives, and mutual agenda. Client interview. Presentation, demonstration, or recommendation. Negotiation and overcoming objections. Closing the sale. Depending on the nature of your business, the complexity of the sale, and the price of the product or service involved, this step in the selling process may require one or several meetings to complete. To put it into simpler terms, the meeting will have a beginning, a middle, and an end. As you become more experienced at conducting sales appointments, these steps will flow together very smoothly to the point that only another sales professional will even notice the transition. The more competent that you become at the first 4 steps, the easier the last 2 steps will be. This style of selling requires more planning, preparation, focused thinking, research, energy, effort, upfront time investment, and most of all, listening. Winning the prospect's trust, their cooperation, and willingness to participate in this process is essential. In addition, you must have a much deeper understanding of product knowledge and be able to make the connection between client needs, how you are able to address those needs, and the questions that you must ask in order to reveal those needs and build value in your products, services, and related intangibles. With all this in mind, why would you want to employ this method of selling? Some possible responses would include: hard selling doesn't work in your environment. To make more money. Present yourself in a more professional manner. Increase your ability to help your customers. It's the only way. To feel better about yourself. In order to build relationships, partnerships, and not feel it's me or us against them. This method empowers the salesperson, and you play a more important role in the sales process. Encourages you to do your homework, research, collect information, and ask questions, which provides you with history and data that can be leveraged. Increases your ability to resolve issues, problem solve. For increased confidence. This process draws out objections, allowing you to remove them as potential obstacles. If you're not accustomed to doing business this way, it's going to take some time and effort to develop the necessary habits to become a more effective communicator. For you personally, what reasons can you think of that would motivate you to concentrate on learning and implementing these new skills? This concludes step number 1 of the learning path. Please click on the green Next button with the white arrow in order to advance to the next step.